Good.
Okay, so you're just gonna pull straight up?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to use this like as a line, see if that helps.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm looking at right now. I don't know what I'm doing.
At least Aaron's honest. Yeah, easy. Just pull it straight up, pull it straight back against the line. Bada bing, bada boom.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to today's video, and thank you for watching.
Today we're going to cover off on our pickup date of our new RV and what our PDI walkthrough looked like for us, as well as our first tow home.
Fun. My name is Aaron, this is my wife Chris, and let's get right into it.
You guys, I was like a 7-year-old on Christmas Eve last night. I couldn't fall asleep, and then I woke up at like 2 a.m. and I was up. I was just excited. We're both really happy. I think we're both really, I'm still emotionally guarded. Like this whole time in the tent, I never got excited about today because I never knew which day today would happen. And today, like we have our house now, and it's gonna sink in. I haven't cried yet, but I will. I think it's gonna hit me
When we get home?
when we park it at home and we have a place to eat, to cook, to go to the bathroom. Like we have a toilet and a bed and a kitchen. That's when it's gonna hit me. So it's 3:40 right now. If we just use the same 3-hour time frame, we'll be home by 7 o'clock, just in time to park it before dark.
This is it. This is the day we've been waiting.
South Hillcrest Drive.
Shut up, Siri. It's 6:30 in the morning. We're leaving Montrose, Colorado, and we're headed towards Poncha Springs, which is right next to Salida. And it is on Highway 50, about 2.5 hours. And of course, there is some major road construction, which is causing some big delays and is actually closing the highway from 8:30 to 5:30 every single day.
So when it opens at 5:30, it's open all through the night?
No, at 5:30 Monday through Thursday, it's open from 5:30 to 7:30. And then on Friday, it's open from 5:30 till Monday morning. It's dark, it's early, so we'll see ya in Poncha Springs.
1,000 feet. Your destination will be on the right.
There it is. I see RVs. I see RVs!
Do you see ours?
We're gonna see if we can see ours.
Do you feel like we're on a secret mission?
I see
Outdoor RV!
I see outdoor RVs. There's a titanium that could, nope, that's not.
Should I turn in this right here?
Yeah.
I feel like we're like breaking the rules by coming early.
Yeah.
Oh, there's one. Black Country. That's not ours.
Nope.
They have a lot here. There's titanium. That's got to be ours right there.
Yeah,
With
maybe.
the slides out.
Are you excited?
I am so excited. I am not even processed my emotions yet. I think I'm emotionally frozen right now. But it's about to hit me hard.
All right, let's go in and see what happens.
Okay.
Now, our appointment was actually scheduled for 1 p.m. on this day. And because of construction and our little bit of stubbornness, we showed up at 9 a.m. Actually 9:30. We gave them a half hour to open up, but we showed up early because we really wanted to give ourselves a lot of time for this process. And we're really glad it did, because it ended up taking way longer than we thought. And we were battling this construction thing where we needed to get back on the road by like 3:30 in the afternoon. And if we would have stuck to the 1 o'clock, it would have just been way too much. Now, a good dealer will allow you at least 2 hours of the walkthrough or the PDI, pre-delivery inspection process. And we ended up taking about 4 hours. So the dealer we went to, Holiday RV in Poncha Springs, did a very good job on the purchase day, the walkthrough process. The buying part only took about a half an hour. So that was a very, very easy process. But most of the time we spent walking through with the technician and also going through the new weight distribution hitch and setting that up and learning how to use all of the systems.
Yeah, and our technician was very knowledgeable. He was very calm, comfortable to be with, and you could tell he actually cared about what he was explaining and what he knew. You could tell he had good knowledge on everything, and so that was really comforting.
Yeah. And most people are going to recommend that you record the entire process. And of course, we did because we record everything. But at the same time, you know, I didn't need to know how all of the switches work and how the radio works and all that, like, kind of smaller stuff. But for people that are buying their first RV, there is a lot of overwhelming things. We've been in an RV for 2.5 years, so we kind of have the basics all figured out. But of course, this is a new style, a travel trailer to us, and it's also, you know, a new brand and new everything for us. So because this day can be so long of a process, it is really good to have that footage to go back and kind of refresh your memory on what did they say about this, what did they say about that. And you really never know what you're going to catch with your footage. It's good to have like a good, clear video of everything, you know, if there's any type of damage or, you know, things that you can catch on that walkthrough day. It's always better to catch it immediately than to try to go after the fact and talk about it.
Yeah, and to have that documentation already in your possession in case you need to use it for anything.
Yes. Now, our dealer had a check-through list to go through, and they actually did a large walkthrough before we got there. So they filled all of the tanks. They did all of the big systems, testing out all the appliances, the propane, the air conditioner. So they basically went through and checked everything. They do their own PDI process when they receive it. And then we came in right behind them and did our own walkthrough as well. And that checklist really did help, just going through and noting all of the big systems, making sure you have everything checked off, as well as we noted, you know, any type of things that looked out of place to us. So when we first arrived at the dealer, they were still washing it and getting it ready for us since our appointment was not until 1. So we kind of jumped the gun a little bit. They were very, very friendly and said, oh yeah, you know, go right in, check it out. We were actually inside the RV while they were outside washing it, just getting that first initial walkthrough and impression and inspection.
Yeah, they were actually really good about like sharing the excitement and congratulating us right away when we got there. They were super friendly when we walked in the door, and it was really comforting to walk up to the trailer to see it had like our name taped on the door. The keyhole was taped up so that people couldn't try to get into it. So like they had that layer of protection where you wouldn't have people walking in, walking through, trying to shop your unit thinking it's for sale since it's on the lot.
They had crime scene tape all around it. No,
do not enter.
They did not have that. So part of that 4 hours of walkthrough and all that was setup and instructions on our weight distribution hitch. Now we went with the Anderson weight distribution hitch. That's something that I had them order and put in stock because they normally sold a few other brands that had kind of the bar style, and I just wanted something lighter, easier, no noise. And since we had a big 1-ton truck and a relatively small 26-foot, 7,000-pound trailer, I didn't feel we needed a really, really heavy-duty weight distribution hitch. Now, that's probably something you can set up yourself. I was actually planning on doing that, and I'm glad I didn't because that day was already so
long and exhausting.
Yep. And, you know, it wasn't super stressful, but there was a lot of stuff going in my head, and that would just be one more thing to worry about on top of like this first time tow for me.
And this was like, you know, safety. This is a big safety part. So like when Aaron mentioned we are familiar with motorhomes, RVs, the functions and everything, this hitch was the most valuable as part of the walkthrough and the lessons and the instructions because that's the only thing that is brand new to us. All of the other stuff, Of course, it's a little bit different than what we had in the Airstream, but relatively speaking, it was kind of all repeated with the exception of the hitch. So I think it was a great call for you to hire that for having him walk through, teach you, do it the right way, learn from it. And then, you know, moving forward, it just eliminates a lot of the guesswork or the self-doubt, like, did I do that right or wrong?
Yeah, I still had the self-doubt. But no, it was $180 roughly for them to do the install, which I felt was obviously something, like I said, you could do yourself and avoid that charge. But considering everything and the pickup and the ease of mind on all that, it was money well spent.
Yeah.
In future videos, we'll be talking more about the Anderson weight distribution hitch and the towing process. We're still getting used to this. We've only towed, I think, 3 times now, roughly, and maybe about 500 miles or so. So we're still getting used to that, and I don't want to put out videos on that quite yet until we get a little bit better grip on how everything works. Now, this might be the big question you're asking right now, is what did we find during this PDI process? What was wrong with our RV when we came and picked it up?
That's a great question.
So thankfully, we did not have anything major wrong with our RV. There was no major things, appliances that didn't work or weren't connected. Everything we found was pretty minor and cosmetic. It kind of falls into the dents, dings, scratches, and assembly category. Now, I also plan on doing a big video on kind of the warranty process and some of the things that are wrong and maybe some of the things that we had to fix, but I'm still going through this process as well, so I don't want to quite cover that as yet. But the major things I think that were wrong with our RV were the assembly of the table was not put together quite correctly, so it has a little bit more wobble to it than it should. And the drawer slides are all, I don't want to say all, I think 7 out of the 12 drawers are, I think, assembled wrong on the slide part, so that when the drawer gets pushed in, it kind of pinches itself and it stops. So basically, the drawer does not open and close slowly, or at least 7 out of the 12. And it's something we noticed right away. We're like, woo! And it's not just like kind of hard to close, like that's a good thing because you're in an RV and you don't want it to pop open.
It's like you got to put your whole hip into it to shut it. So
you don't even want to shut it.
We find ourselves throughout the days leaving the drawers open.
Yes.
Like we'll partially close, we'll close them all the way until that point where they stick. So then we'll have a stack of drawers that are like partially open. And then usually if I'm like deep cleaning or really tidying up, my OCD is kicking in, I want it to look good.
Yeah.
Or obviously on travel days, we'll go and like knock them all in to make sure everything's fully closed.
Yeah. And you guys know that we've been doing a lot of remodeling and the electrical system, so I haven't had a lot of time to tinker with a lot of this stuff. We're actually on our kind of first big week of having most stuff done and being able to like
live in it.
Yeah, live in it, and kind of we're still moving in and kind of figuring everything out.
And that's sure been fun. Don't just breeze through that. That's been wonderful.
That's your favorite part.
That's my favorite part, yeah.
So I did take a look at, pulling out the drawer and looking at the slides, and from what I can tell on the ones that slide well and the ones that don't, is that, the right slide or the left slide might be a little higher than the other one, and so that's causing, as the drawer slides in, to cause like a pinch point. And so I think I can easily fix that by aligning the one side of the slide along with the table and just kind of fixing that. So pretty minor stuff for us, but when you buy a brand new RV, you do want to, of course, have it all function and work and look properly like it should. Mm-hmm. And from what I've heard from a lot of people buying new RVs is that's a very normal process. That's why they call it a shakedown trip. And you go figure out what's wrong. You have your punch list that you need to bring back to the dealer, and then you give it to them for who knows what amount of time, and then they fix everything. And so that's kind of the tricky part with us, because we're full time. We're not near our dealer anymore. We're not going to be able to just go back and give them our RV for a week or 2 weeks or a month to get everything done. So this is just a lot of stuff that I have to do. And as we get into that, that's something that I definitely want to do a video on.
So one of the other big things that we did notice during the PDI that does go into that like scratch and ding category that Erin mentioned is our cabinetry, the drawers, the varnish on it, or the paint, the brown varnish I think it's called. It seems to be slightly defective in areas where it's literally just flaking off when you touch it with your finger. So something about the curing process didn't go well. You know, when you're picking up your brand new unit that you haven't even lived in yet, and there's paint flecking off the drawers, it just makes you be like, ooh, I wonder what it's gonna look like in 5 years after we've actually been living in it.
Using it.
Yeah, so that was a big thing. That's a current concern of ours now.
And that's something that I didn't quite understand. So we have the titanium package in this outdoors RV, which gives you upgraded cabinetry. And really the upgraded cabinetry is just the cabinets, not the drawers. And so the cabinet doors are a beautiful knotty alder wood that are stained very nicely. So like if you scratch it, it doesn't like flake off because it's like a, you know, deep penetrated type of stain. Well, the drawer fronts are like this weird, cheaper, I don't even know what to call it. It's not like a veneer, but it's like maybe it's just a bad stain. I don't know. I feel like the process didn't cure, and it's definitely an issue. So that's something we're addressing. We don't have answers to that yet, so we're not going to say too much one way or the other. But it's an actual thing, and so, you know, we're just sharing our process.
It's a high priority concern for us because it's not in our power to fix it. Like, we can't just like sand down all these things and refinish it and like redo it, nor should we have to.
Yeah.
So that was another big thing. Another small-ish thing is our thermostat. Part of the titanium package, you're supposed to get a digital upgraded thermostat. We have an old analog thermostat that looks like it's almost vintage, and Erin hates it.
Well, it's weird to buy a 2022 RV and get a 1981 thermostat. Like, it's just unusual to see this slider thermostat, you know. You almost think there's going to be mercury in this thing.
Yeah.
It's like that type of old school thermostat. So we don't even know what the temperature is. Like, let's just say you wake up and it's chilly and you want to turn it up. You just got to slide it till you hear the click and you go, oh, there we go. It's turned on. Like, you don't even know what the temperature is, as opposed to like a digital one where you're like, oh, it's 62. Let's turn it up to 65.
Yeah, our sales rep did make a phone call to the supplier just to ask, like, what's the deal with this thermostat? And he was basically told that the thermostats that we should have gotten weren't in stock, and so they sent this as is, which we actually appreciate because we wouldn't want to be waiting for months just for a thermostat. So
we'll take that old digital, analog thermostat. We'll take that.
Yeah, and then finally, I think the last thing that brought some alarm to us during the walkthrough is there was water seeping inside from the outside.
Inspector Erin is already at it.
Water from the pressure washer.
I think it's from that little door hole.
Which door hole?
On the side, there's a door stopper.
It ended up being a result of the pressure washing that was done.
And underneath,
And
too.
underneath, we had a lot of dripping.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember that. So there was a lot of water through, not a lot of water, it's just, you know, it doesn't take much water to like cause a little puddle and cause alarm, but there was water by the front door, which alarmed us at first, and then towards the end I noticed water was dripping from underneath the RV, like in the middle, like it looked like the tank was leaking. But both of those turned out to be caused by the pressure washing, like Chris said, and that's a good tip. You know, don't pressure wash your RV.
Yeah, and during
in certain areas.
During this discussion, they said, "Oh yeah, that's dripping because it was pressure washed." Oh, and by the way, you never want to pressure wash a travel trailer. So we were kind of like, "Well, why are you telling us never do it and you're doing it like as we get here?" They're in a hurry to get it ready, and it was done. So no permanent damage, but something that if you were to do it continuously, repeatedly, it probably could lead to some water issues that you definitely don't want.
Oh, the last thing that was actually kind of big and still is kind of big is the shower door leaks. Yeah. Like a lot of people in the ORV forums talk about the drain I don't want to say a lot of people, some people have said their drain leaked underneath the shower, like it came disconnected or something like that. Our actual shower door, where it's siliconed on the corners, we have a glass door, that is what's leaking. And obviously that's an easy fix with silicone, but that's something major. So when they test these RVs, they're testing the pressure in the pipes and in the systems. They're looking for internal leaks, but they don't get all sudsed up and get in your shower and test out like your shower door and all that. So very poor job of siliconing the shower because it leaks in 3 spots.
Yeah, and we didn't really notice that until
we showered.
Which we didn't shower right away because of our painting and our backsplash problems. We weren't showering until all of that was done.
And you got to remember, it's going to take us a little bit to get back into this shower thing. Living in the tent, like, you didn't shower every single day and have all this luxury of water and tanks and stuff like that.
But now we've adjusted quickly, so now we're using and abusing the shower.
Yeah. So go ahead and share your thoughts below on the PDI process, or share your stories of picking up your trailer if you had any horror stories, or if it went as smooth as can be. I don't know if there's any of those out there. There's got to be some problems with all RVs, minor, hopefully not major, but there's also always those stories that you hear of the big incidents.
Okay, to recap our day, we just purchased our long-awaited travel trailer from Holiday RV in Poncha Springs, and now we are making the drive back to our campsite location, which is dry camping, and that's where we're going to do our shakedown there. But the overall process today was long, but it was fairly easy and enjoyable and pleasant. We woke up at 4:30 a.m.
We got only like 2 to 4 hours of sleep last night.
You guys, I was like a 7-year-old on Christmas Eve last night. I couldn't fall asleep, and then I woke up at like 2 a.m. and I was up. I was just excited. This is Aaron's not first time driving.
First time towing in maybe like 15 years.
And this is a personal record for total length that he's towing. So he's winning some PRs today. So this is really great. It was a very special day for us. We're very excited, and we're going to be getting home, and we'll just be sharing with you guys the process on our new trailer. Obviously, we're going to do a little walkthrough tour, and we're going to show you what we got. We're going to show you how we're going to modify things slightly to our liking. Big electrical project for Aaron, and then we're going to be hitting the road.
So update on the first 5 miles of towing. It feels really good. So obviously we have a big 1-ton F350, so that weight helps a lot with our trailer. The trailer weighs, I think, about 7,000 pounds dry, and the truck weighs about 8,000 pounds. And we have an Anderson weight distribution hitch on here as well. And the trailer is tracking right behind the truck. It feels super tight and comfortable, pretty easy. I do feel that the truck kind of chug once in a while. Just trying to, like, I don't know, get its pace up. I'm not sure how to explain it. But this is the diesel engine, so it has plenty of power to tow this, but 7,000 pounds so far, so good.
Woohoo! Into the construction zone.
How you holding in there, trooper?
Good. I'm ready for the day to be over, though.
Yes, it's starting to wear on, isn't it?
Yeah, and anytime you hit like traffic or a traffic jam or something that causes like an extra hour on top of your long day, we used to hit that in the van on the East Coast. Remember?
Oh yeah.
Traffic, just unexpected, or an accident or something like that. You're on this long travel day and you just want to get to where you're going, and
Yeah.
you gotta sit and wait.
Yes, it looks like when we're all back, it will be 13 hours of travel and adventure today.
Okay, we just went from Montrose to Poncha Springs. I think it was like roughly 130 some miles and 18.5 average miles per gallon according to the computer, and that's without towing. So we are gonna have fun and see what kind of fuel economy we get on the way back when we're towing.
And to be transparent, since we've been here in Colorado, we have seen an overall decrease in our miles per gallon, as expected, due to the mountains. We've been going between 14 and 19, depending on the inclines that we've been on.
Yeah, and overall, I just looked at the tripometer yesterday. We have 5,500 miles on this truck, and from brand new, the overall average miles per gallon is 17.3.
So much data. This is exciting.
We are 53 miles into our first tow, and the little MPG check is 10.9. So, not bad, not great, but we did do our first, I don't know, what, 25, 30 miles through the mountain. You know, it was a 6% grade on the way back down, so I don't know what the elevation was. And it's kind of windy out here, so it's hard for me to like know. I've never towed something that weighs 7,000 pounds, so that bucking or chucking they call it, I've heard people talk about that with fifth wheels. I don't know about trailers, if that's like the same thing with more weight. I never experienced that in a lightweight trailer I towed before, but I can feel that a little bit where it like will buck a little bit. But the wind, I think it's pretty windy out there. I don't know what it is, but you can see the trees blowing when there are trees, and it seems to be no sway. So I think there may need to be some adjustments on the Anderson hitch, maybe just to dial it in a little bit more, but I don't know. So far, it's pretty good.
Overall, you would say that this is a super successful first towing experience.
Yeah, there's no like white knuckling. I'm not scared. It's tracking right behind me. It's towing fine. We're going up the mountain. Oh, I checked the MPGs as we were going up the mountain. We were at 6. So.
And now we're at 10.
Yeah, 11. So it's evening out because it kind of goes into flat land.
It's great.
As we go towards Gunnison. But yeah, I just don't have a lot to compare it to, but I'm just trying to like share some of my initial thoughts of this 1-ton Ford and 7,000 pound dual axle trailer.
And we're just happy that the roads are dry and that it's still fall, because part of us was scared that it was going to push into the winter and we would be doing our first tow not only through the mountains but add snow on top of it. That doesn't sound fun.
Yeah, that almost happened.
That almost happened. Nobody's watching you or judging you. I'm watching him and judging him.
Don't mess this up, Aaron. Don't mess it up. Not the approach I would have taken. But everybody's different. There's more than one way to skin a cat. Looking good. Keep on pushing that, baby.
I need lots of practice.
This is a great lot for practicing.
It is. We're going to be doing circles.
We're gonna be doing drills all week. We'll be checking in next week after we have practiced.
I need a lot of practice.
Signing out. Aaron needs practice. Chris hasn't even started yet. What's that gonna look like? I don't know.
So here we are 3 weeks later. What do we think? Are we happy? Did we make a good purchase? Is everything going as planned?
Yes, we're happy. Yes, we made a good purchase. And yes, going as planned.
Everything was minor.
Yeah, everything's minor, and you gotta expect these things to happen, right? I mean, it's built by humans, it's transferred by humans, it's checked by humans, things can get missed, there's a lot of things to look for. Some people are pickier than others, so all those things come into play.
Yeah, managing expectations is like a phrase that people like to throw out there, which I don't actually like. You know, I don't need to manage my expectations lower because we're buying something. But you do need to keep it in mind that this is an RV. It's not a house. It's not an automobile. It's not made by machines.
Yeah.
It's definitely different. And coming from an Airstream van, you know, that's completely different than this as well. Airstream does an extremely good job on their cabinetry. They make all their stuff themselves. It's nice, thick plywood with this beautiful veneer on it.
Very beautiful.
It holds up very, very well. And we knew that going into it, that this was not going to be, you know, Airstream.
It's not apples to
cabinetry
apples.
Quality.
Yeah.
Yep. But everything as far as the layout and the functionality and the sense of feeling at home, we absolutely love it.
We couldn't be happier. We are on cloud 9. It feels like a luxury studio apartment in here. No joke. Like, you can be dropped in the middle of a national forest or in the middle of an RV park. Either way, you feel like you're at home and you feel like all that matters is this world right here. And we really end up, we love the kitchen. We love the table. We were attracted to those the most, the big kitchen countertop and the big kitchen table. And we certainly use these all day, every day. We love the studio style bedroom where it's one big open area. That was the only part of this floor plan that we didn't know if we would respond well to it or not. And it turns out we respond very well to it. We love it. It makes the space feel bigger. I've mentioned before, like, if that were to be closed off, it would feel really, really tiny in the kitchen and the overall feel would feel kind of congested. So I love having that studio style without a door and being able to use that area as a little lax. I have to say, Aaron has been plopping down on the bed more than I have. And it's just nice to have that area where you don't have a couch. So you just sit down. If you want something soft, loungy, just sit down, get your feet up. Like, the bed works great for that.
Yeah, so far we're not missing having a couch. Obviously a couch would be nice in a living room, but we're in a, you know, small one-room RV, so we'd much rather have the table than a couch or chair set up. It just works better for us, for our productivity and how we like to use the space. And then when we do want to lounge, watch a movie, that bed, the upgraded mattress is amazing.
It's a really nice mattress.
It's like a gel memory foam, and honestly, like, every time I plop down, it's super, like, firm yet, like, soft at the same time.
It hugs you.
And that's exactly what I love. I don't want to, like, sink down into a mattress. I want to be, like, supported but coddled at the same time. I'm kidding. That's not what I want. Maybe not. That is gonna wrap it up for this video. If you enjoyed it, hit the thumbs up button. That does help share the video with other people who would enjoy something like this. And that's gonna do it for us. We'll catch you on the next video.
It's locked in on my eyeballs. Look at that screen.
Yeah, it uses eye lock instead of like the face lock.
Doo-doo-doo-doo.
See, and then it goes to face lock. Eye lock, face lock, eye lock, face lock.
It only locks my eyes when I do it like this, though.